Here we have a Nintendo Switch that came in for repair. We already disassembled the board right here. And let's read what the customer wrote. In the title, the customer said, Nintendo Switch repair. But we want to read the description. And it looks like the customer wrote a newspaper. Hi, I emailed you for a quote on March 12th, and I'm ready to move forward. I tried a DIY replacement fan on Nintendo Switch. The original fan bearing were seized, so I replaced the fan like an idiot. I didn't search a video what the ZIF connector to replace, so I believe I initially disconnected the wrong ZIF connector, and I disconnected it in the wrong way, which broke it off from the motherboard. Let me just fast forward with the reading. I think it just needs a new ZIF connector soldered back on, which looks like a Molex 503, 4800, 440. It should be what this guy did on YouTube, and he left a link. The switch has been sitting uncharged into any dock. Is this English? So the battery is probably drained and might need to be charged again. Okay, so basically this whole newspaper is to tell us that we have a broken ZIF connector. I think the best thing to do is to take a look at the motherboard, because I did not get half of the things written in the description. ZIF connector. He mentioned something about disconnecting the wrong connector. I'm not picking on the customer in any way, shape, or form. I just did not get, this whole newspaper is to tell us that we have a damaged ZIF connector. It could have been written in one sentence. Before we start the video, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, PCBWay. PCBWay is a China Shenzhen-based PCB manufacturer and printed circuit board assembler with more than a decade in the field of PCB prototype and fabrication. They offer a wide variety of services, including 3D printing, CNC machining, sheet metal fabrication, and much more. PCBWay is committed to meeting all your PCB needs. They offer quality, on-time delivery, and competitive pricing. 1 to 2 layer boards starts at $5 with 24 hours turnaround. Get an instant quote by visiting PCBWay.com or click on the link below, and make sure to check them out. Okay, right here. I got it. I got it. So it looks like we have the connector broke off, and we have one ripped trace right here. And I do not have this connector in stock, but we can take it off another Nintendo Switch motherboard. No problem. We cannot desolder that connector from the top. We cannot apply hot air from the top, because we're going to end up melting the plastic on that connector. So what we need to do is heat up from bottom of the board until that board reaches the melting temperature of solder, and that's when we will be able to remove that connector from another motherboard. Then we're going to apply solder on those pins. We're going to heat up from the bottom until solder liquefies, and we can solder that connector, and then we can run a wire from here to here. We can run the wire now, but I think I'm going to do it later. 101 ways to skin a cat. Right there. That's the connector that we need. Yeah, we should be able to easily access the broken pin and run a wire from here all the way to this resistor. No problem. See? Let's apply some flux, and we're going to be using our NF.mini soldering pen because of the fine soldering tip. And right here, I'm using the knife tip. We do not want to lose that connector, otherwise I need to grab another one. Right, and we're all good. The connector is making a solid connection from all the pins. That's pin number 1, pin number 3, pin number 4, and from the top, the 2 legs. Awesome. All we need to do is fix that rip trace. We're gonna run the wire from pin number 2, from here to here. We can even do this, right? I can scrape that wire and solder it onto that pin. Done. Let me switch over to a bent tip, like this one here. Because we are dealing with a microscopic pin and wire. Awesome. I mean, that knife tip was amazing, but this bent tip is for this job. NF Mini. Amazing soldering pen. You can go from 0 to hero by just using the NF Mini pen. No joke. I could not have done this job with my regular soldering iron tip. Look at this tip here. It still has some solder on it, but look at the size. I mean, even the finest tip I have here, look at the size. Look at the size. And look at the size. But NF Mini is just a different animal. Look at this. Wow. Every time I make a video, I mention the NF Mini pen because I get amazed every time. And you all know the drill. If you are in the same type of business or you are doing this as a hobby, you can purchase the NF Mini pen off our site. NF stands for NorthridgeFix. Just log into NorthridgeFix.com, click on shop, add to cart. We sell all the tools, including the genuine Amtech Flux. We are one of the biggest distributors of Inventec Amtech Flux. Soldering stations, hot air stations, thermal cameras, braid wick, tweezers, whatever you need. Just log into NorthridgeFix, add to cart, checkout, pay, and we almost always ship out same day. And that's for all the new viewers on the channel. If you are an old viewer and you keep hearing this, just bear with me. You're not the only viewer on the channel. We have new people every day. And look at this. Look at this beauty. I mean, if I want, I can touch up on the rest of the pins. I do not have to. The pin is making a very solid connection. Very solid connection. And this one here is moving along with the wire. And this one here is making a very solid connection. Awesome. If we go to diode mode and we measure from here to right here, we're gonna have a beep. And where does this one go to? I have no idea. Is it ground? Yes. And this one is going right here. Very nice. And this one should go right here, right? Yes. Awesome. Now if we test pins like this, just make sure they are not shorting out. Great. We're done. Yes. And we have a charge of 15 volts, 1 amp. Awesome. And we're good. We're in business. Great. Thank you, big boss.
Welcome.
Boss of all bosses.